The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. Um, Today, once again, we'll be talking about guns. And, it's not surprising because Congress, at least the dim-witted Democrats and the left-wing media, want you to think that guns kill people instead of people kill people. So we need to get rid of guns, ignore the Second Amendment right, and let tyranny reign. Um, Biden say he wants an assault rifle or assault weapons ban, which they don't even know the definition of an assault weapon. They think an AR-15 is an assault weapon because of the fact it has the A, and they think that stands for assault. You don't see our military carrying AR-15s into battle. So yeah, he needs to be educated. So the rest of the Democrats, but they are educated. See, um, they know what they're saying. They want to take away the guns so they can be like China. You know, that lovely place that has no freedoms. And Congress is actually going through several different laws or bills, hearing different bills, and I have a list of all of them. But they have the HR 3015, the HR 3088, the HR 2280. Pretty much raise the Age Act, Untraceable Firearm Act, Prevent Gun Trafficking Act, Ethan Law, Safe Gun, Safe Kid Act, Keep Americans Safe Act, so on and so forth. But they're actually combining a lot of those bills into one because those bills were actually introduced last year. One was introduced on the 31st of May called the HR 7910, Protecting Our Kids Act. You notice they leave the gun out because it's much more has much more impact if the left-wing media says the Republicans voted down the Protecting Our Kids Act. They don't want to protect our kids, and because they want to feed you the lies. Um, well, I'm sorry, it's people that kill people. Like I said, and no Democrat or left-wing idiot has ever been able to answer me this question. If guns were a problem, why was there no school shootings and mass shootings 30, 40 years ago when it was easier to get guns? I mean, the first background check for guns and mental health passed in 1967. First school mass shooting was what, Columbine in 97, 98? I was a sophomore in high school. So, answer me, if guns are the problem, why did you not hear anything about mass shootings before all the gun laws came to be? Answer me that question. You can't. That's the problem. No matter how much you dig, how much you search, you just cannot come up with the answer. It's a morality issue. It's a person issue. And you think those Democrats are doing it to protect people? No. The Biden administration just said that if a school doesn't allow boys and girls bathroom, they'll let the kids starve. They'll take the funding away for free lunch. They don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They want control. They want their agendas passed, and they don't care who gets hurt or whatnot. And of course, if they take away the funding for the school lunch and then kids don't have money for lunch, then they'll blame the parents for being neglectful. Even though the parents don't have money and dependent on that free lunch. And yet, the same parents will still vote for these idiots in. Now, what they're doing is against the law. Now, how is this against the law when they're making bills for gun control? Because nothing can supersede the Constitution of the United States. There's a supremacy law, a supremacy clause in the Constitution. Constitution first, federal laws are second. And the Second Amendment clearly states, and I'll read it word for word, a well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. And for all you people saying, Oh, that they were just talking about the military. No, they were not talking about the military. There's only 3 times that the right of the people comes up in in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. The First Amendment, the right of the people, freedom of speech or the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Are they talking about the military or the right of the people? Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Are they talking about the military? No. So how's the Second Amendment, when it says right of the people, talking about the military? You know, Biden wants to confuse people, say the right of the people, we the people are the government. Yeah, but the problem is they separate it, and when you read the Constitution and everything else, government, the people instituted government, not the other way around. And the biggest thing of, oh well, the Second Amendment was only made for hunting. No, it was not made for hunting. How do I know that? Well, let's look at the Declaration of Independence and not the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Right here, that to secure these rights, government are instituted among men deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That's the people. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. It also states, when you go down further, that when a long train of abuses and unsolicitations pursuing invariable the same object eventually decide to reduce them under absolute deposition, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. They're not talking about voting. They're not talking about petitions. They're not talking about protest. Yes, you're supposed to exhaust all those manners, but people forget that the Declaration was made knowing that it will bring all 13 colonies into the War of Britain and not just Massachusetts. And as when they signed that Declaration of Independence, it showed that they were treason against Britain, and the death for treason was to be hung. I don't think they were talking about the throw off such government with letters, since they knew that they were going to be hunted down by soldiers to be hung. But people don't care about history. People don't care about the Constitution anymore or what it says. If they actually cared, they would stop worrying about the Oscars of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and actually worrying about what's going on in our government. Because if people actually worried about what's going on in our government, we wouldn't have got to this point. And it's sad that for every generation, it keeps going more and more downhill. Reagan said it best. We're a generation away from losing our freedom. Are we going to be that generation? Or is our children's generation not going to have the freedom? They want to use mass shootings and everything else as a cover-up and say it's for the safety of the people. Killers don't care. There is a law to say do not murder, do not kill. If criminals actually cared about the laws, guess what? They wouldn't kill. So making these laws going to hinder the law-abiding citizen and patriots who are ready to take a stand when a government oversteps their bound and becomes tyrannical. We'll exhaust every effort. And if you don't like my opinion, and this opinion's very, it's not the minority, it's the majority of opinions. The media don't want you to know that, though. That's why it's called the silent majority. We're fed up. We're taking a stand. And it's time to take that stand now. Because as soon as they restrict our guns and ban all guns, we're going to start seeing what they see in China. And that's just my opinion. What's your opinion? Like, share, subscribe. If you have any topics you want us to discuss, Brothers of Liberty 76 at gmail.com. We'll love to hear from you. And I will keep going on with videos about guns and about our Second Amendment rights as long as I can. Like I said, YouTube may cancel me, but there's Rumble and other venues. And I will get my point across one way or the other. People did it without media and YouTube. I could go back to the old ways of paper and standing on a soapbox. And so can a lot of other people. And once again, this is the older brother of liberty reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.